Good morning, Steiff super fans. Hello from a very hot New England location. I have something so exciting to share with you today. It is perhaps the most exciting thing for me that I've ever unboxed and going to share with you live and in person. So for many, many years, probably as long as I've been alive, I have wanted this item. And I don't know if you know this feeling, but every time I'd walk into a show or a convention or a flea market, wherever I'm looking for wonderful stuff for me or for you, this is the first thing I'm always looking for. Like, please, please, may there be one of these. And there has never been one. I've wanted one of these for, not going to tell you how many decades because that's going to reveal my age, which is creeping along as it is for everyone. But anyway, today is the day. I saw one of these at auction. I could not believe my eyes or my ears or my heart. And here it is. A friend encouraged me to go for this because it is in very good condition for what it is. And I may never have the opportunity to get one again. So anyway, with all of that background, are you excited? I am on pins and needles. Let me show you the box. It arrived yesterday from Germany. There's nothing more exciting for me than when DHL pulls up to my house with a box from Germany. Here we go. So, seatbelts on. Are you ready to go? I've got oxygen at my floor right here just in case I pass out when I see this. I hope that's not the case. Anyway, so I'm opening the box, which was pre-scored, and I'm taking out some paper and some stuffing and such. Okay, here we go. Okay, so, oops, it's raining popcorn. But here we go. Here is the box. It is from our friends at Ladenburg. No surprise, they always have such wonderful things. But here is the item. Okay, we're going to open this up. Up, up. Okay, all righty. You're watching me have a bucket list experience right on camera. So what we have here is something I've just wanted forever. So what we have here is what's called a Schlopsnies doll. And I'm going to show her to you right now. Okay. So this is really, really remarkable. And believe it or not, it is made by Steiff. It was designed by Steiff's freelancer who worked with Richard Steiff and others at the Steiff company named Richard. His name was Albert Schlopsnies. He worked with Richard Steiff from roughly 1910 through the late 1920s, designing innovative products for Steiff. And this was uh, one of his things that he created for Steiff that very few people know of. And what this is a doll. Now, this doll is 40 centimeters, so she's pretty big. And she was designed to look like an idealized child, beautiful, sort of 3-year-old or so. She has floppy arms, jointed legs, and a jointed head. Yep, yep, still jointed. What makes this doll so super cool, and I bet if you saw this, you would think like, how do you know it's Steiff? Well, it is Steiff. What Albert did is sort of create a new way of looking at dolls, play dolls for the company, and they were looking in the early 20s to replace the center seam face on the dolls because other companies were producing more dolls more efficiently and prettier and more playful and such. And Steiff really wanted to create a play doll, and this was a play doll, and she came in uh, wonderful clothing and such, but we'll talk about in a bit. What makes this doll so remarkable and the fact that she still exists, which is just unbelievable to me, is that her head is made of celluloid. And it was purchased, the heads were purchased by Schildkreuth, which is another German company that made doll parts and such. And what Steiff did, and I'm going to explain this to you why this is so remarkable, and I hopefully you can see it, is that Steiff would buy these heads blank. So there was no painting, no detailing and such on them. And then on the back, they would cut a circle. Okay. So they would pop the back off. And then they would do something called reverse painting. So they would take a paintbrush, paint from the inside of the head to get these eyes and the cheeks and the colors and such. And that's why after all these years, the colors are still there and still relatively vivid because they're on the inside and not the outside. And what that means is when they were being played with, the colors wouldn't rub off, which is super cool. So once the face was painted and sort of beautiful, this little one has probably was blue eyes, kind of looks greenish right now, but very lovely. They would take the head that once it was dry inside, they would stuff it with Excelsior and pop the back on. Okay, glue that on. So the head is Excelsior stuffed celluloid. So a very realistic face, very charming, very lovely. And that's how the Schlopsnies dolls came to be. These were in the line from about 1921 through about 1928. About 90, excuse me, about 9,100 pieces were produced. So not a lot. So you're saying to yourself, what makes this so rare? Think about it. This is a great example of something that sounded like a great idea at the time. I'll tell you why. The body's fabulous, adorable, very lifelike, fully proportioned, charming, very well made, built for tough, they say. Head is made of celluloid. A child plays with this. Child drops the doll. Boom, head is gone. So it's very easy to see why these didn't last long because children play with things and these were designed as playthings. The heads would crack, and who wants a doll with no head? That explains, I think, why, in part, very few of these exist because the celluloid is very fragile and children would play with them and they would break them. So this little girl is in an outfit that is not original to her. The material is not consistent with her time, and I will provide her with a gorgeous wardrobe. But these were produced in a number of boy-girl combinations, and they were dressed or factory original in seasonal outfits, clothes for the summer, clothes for the winter, clothes for the fall and the spring. They also came in outfits that were sort of traditional, maybe something you'd see across Germany in traditional clothing. They also came dressed in nightgowns and such, and also just a little bit plainer, and also dressed for, I believe, the circus, which is kind of fun. So this sweet girl, who is just beautiful, I'm going to name her Lucy after a good friend's daughter, who's also precious and wonderful. So I will get her in some new clothing and feature her as a beloved, beloved part of my collection. So here she is. Here she is. And if you do find something like this with can you see the seam? Still in good form? We'll get her full underwear, clothing, socks, and she will be good as new and truly a beloved friend for life. Thank you so much for sharing this really once in a lifetime experience because this is like my bucket list. You have watched my bucket list come true. Anyway, thank you so much. Dolly hugs, Steiff hugs. Thank you everyone for your interest. And I look forward to sharing her in her outfit that are seasonally and age-wise appropriate and continuing the love of Steiff and its absolute rarities. So thank you. Goodbye. Talk to you soon.